What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Courtside Financial. My name's Obi. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit that subscribe button because NIO is very well documented on this channel. And also make sure to hit the like button because that really does go a long way in helping out the channel. Today we're going to be talking about Mobileye and NIO. NIO stock is currently trading at $13.47, down 4.38% for the day. There's going to be a lot of great information in this video, so make sure that you watch all the way into the end so that you don't miss out on any of it. So the president and CEO of Mobileye, which is an Intel company, who, if you also follow NIO, you know that NIO has a partnership with Intel, went to do an interview with EcoMotion. Now, the partnership with NIO and Mobileye is focused around autonomous driving. Mobileye is going to be the ones to get them there. If you follow the auto industry, you know that two of the biggest trends are electric vehicles and autonomous driving. Obviously, we've said this on this channel plenty of times that Tesla leads the race. Something that Tesla is also working on is creating their Robotaxi network, and if you've actually done your research on Tesla, then you know that that is part of the bullish case for them. But let's take a look at what CEO Aman Shashua had to say.
So can I mark your words, 2022 early? That's less than 2 years from now. We'll have robotaxis here in Israel?
So we'll have robotaxis starting in Jerusalem, then Tel Aviv. We'll have robotaxis in France. We're working with RATP. We'll have robotaxis in South Korea, city of Daegu. We would have robotaxis in China with the cooperation with the NIO that we're having. So 2022 is a very important date. And we believe that our technology, at the level of maturity of our technology, gives us great confidence that we'll meet the 2022 timeline.
Will it be a robotaxi with a pilot inside, or only I can get in the car as a passenger?
No, we talk about robotaxi, there's no safety driver. When you have a safety driver, it's still R&D. And we're talking about launching a robotaxi, so no
without a safety driver?
Without a safety driver. So end of this year, we'll start launching fleets with safety drivers to start practicing the overall stack of from customer facing to the fleet optimization, the mobility intelligence, and so forth. And then early 2022 is when we launch without a safety driver.
So he says that he has high confidence that their robotaxis will materialize by 2022. He also mentions the partnership with NIO would be a part of that. This would without a doubt be a big deal for NIO. Just another aspect of their business that could produce revenue for them. And if you have a bullish case for the Robotaxi network in Tesla, then I don't see why you wouldn't have a bullish case for the Robotaxi network in NIO. The idea of a Robotaxi network means that, unlike the idea of how things have always been done, now it's going to be much more efficient for these businesses. They're going to be able to have their own ride-sharing services / platforms in which operating costs are reduced because they don't have to hire contractors, which is pretty much the model for ride-sharing right now. Now they can actually send out those robo-taxis and the robo-taxis do all the work, so obviously there's going to be less costs. Also, it's pretty important to mention that Uber is probably going to be a threat in this industry as well because Uber is such a big platform. So a lot of people were thinking that it would just be Uber and Tesla, but Mobileye is working pretty hard, and that's ultimately going to benefit NIO in my opinion if this thing does work out. But let's listen to what else he said to get a better understanding of what's going on here, because obviously for Tesla, every time a vehicle travels, it's collecting data on the roads and sending it back, and then they get that information, so they do end up creating their own maps, and they're working on their own autonomous driving system.
So you talked about self-driving cars. Audi just pulled out of their self-driving car project. What does it mean for the industry?
I think what's happening in the industry is great consolidation. You know, the task of building an autonomous car is so formidable that the learnings to date is that it is very, very difficult to break down the task into components where each component can be developed independently by different supplier. You have many, many elements that all work together like a clockwork. You have sensors, you have software that interpret information coming from cameras, radars, LiDARs. You have decision-making software for merging into traffic. You need to balance safety and utility. You have maps, you have high-definition maps, you have control of the vehicle. You have the vehicle itself, you have the hardware, you have the silicon, you have the compute, and you cannot break it down. It's really an end-to-end system that everything needs to work like clockwork. I'll give you an example. Take, for example, maps. To fully enable autonomous car, you have to have a high-definition map, a very, very detailed map that specifies everything around the car, everything stationary around the car. Now, why not go and purchase such a map? You have map makers in the globe. They're also building high-definition maps. Why you don't go and purchase such a map? We create our own maps, and as far as I know, our competitors create their own maps. And the reason for that is that only when you build a robotic driver, you understand what kind of information you need from the map, because otherwise it's either over-specified or under-specified, and you cannot extract it efficiently. So this is just one small example of something that 2-3 years ago it was obvious that a map you go and purchase from a supplier, and now it's clearly understood it's something that you need to build yourself because it's meshed within the experience of building an autonomous car. And so this is just one small example. There are many, many other examples. So it's a formidable task, and there are going to be very, very few actors who can go from silicon to self-driving system. Therefore, what we see in the industry and what will continue in the industry is a great consolidation.
So you will see less and less players, but you're still optimistic about the notion of self-driving cars.
So as you can see, there are plenty of barriers to entry when it comes to this type of technology. Like I said, Tesla is further ahead, and obviously Mobileye has been doing this for a while, so they too are further ahead. Like he said, ones who are further ahead are likely to succeed when this becomes a big thing, and the rest of the industry will consolidate. That's why you see so many car companies going to Mobileye and requesting their technology. Legacy automakers are behind in this race. Now, this might be interesting to some of you guys, but Tesla and Mobileye did have a partnership up until 2016 when they had a different idea of the way things should be done. So in 2016 is when that partnership actually ended. So I personally think that Mobileye has what it takes to make things happen for NIO when it comes to autonomous driving and their Robotaxi network in this regard. This is something that a lot of NIO investors have not thought about. You can't just think of the car from a vehicles delivered perspective. You have to think of this company in its totality. There's a lifestyle component. There's their battery as a service component. There's so many aspects that come together that is starting to make the case for NIO even better and better by the day, in my opinion. So thanks for watching, you guys. I want to know what you guys think about the Robotaxi network. I want to know what you think about the Mobileye NIO partnership and just anything else NIO related. Please leave me a comment down below. Thanks for watching.